Rakhi of 2 Promises. The air in the Jaipur house hummed with a special kind of energy, the kind that only comes the day before Raksha Bandhan. 9-year-old Ved lay on a brightly colored rug, his cricket bat and pads scattered around him like fallen soldiers. He wasn't thinking about the mess. He was thinking about the sleek, red remote control car he'd seen in the market. It would be the perfect Rakhi gift. His 7-year-old sister, Diya, carefully stepped over his leg guards, a frown crinkling her nose. Honestly, she muttered to her textbook, sometimes it feels like Rakhi is just an excuse for brothers to get presents. Ved, are you ever going to move your things? Diya's voice was sharp. I nearly tripped. Ved waved a hand without looking at her. In a minute, Diya. I'm busy with some very important thinking. Diya planted her hands on her hips. Important thinking? About what you'll get for Rakhi, I bet. Ved finally sat up. So what if I am? It's tradition. The tradition is about a promise, Ved. A promise to protect and help, not just to hold your hand out for a gift. Just as their voices started to rise, their aunt, Buwa, walked in carrying a tray with 3 tall glasses of creamy yellow mango lassi. Her smile was as cool and calming as the drink. What's all this fuss about? She asked, her eyes twinkling. Rakhi is a happy day, not a day for sour faces. She gracefully sat down on the rug beside them, placing the tray in the middle. Ved immediately reached for a glass, his argument with Diya forgotten for a moment. He only thinks about the gift, Buwa, Diya explained, her frustration spilling out. He wants me to tie him a Rakhi and promise to be a good sister. But he can't even be bothered to pick up his own cricket bat so I don't fall over. Buwa nodded, taking a slow sip of her lassi. I see, she said thoughtfully. But you know, a promise isn't just one big grand thing you do once a year. It's 100 little things. It's like a garden. She reached into the pocket of her kurta and pulled out a small, beautifully painted box. Buwa opened the box. Inside, nestled on a bed of cotton, were coils of colorful thread, beads, and a small, flat disc made of clay. Tiny dark specks were embedded in the clay. This, Buwa announced, is for a seed Rakhi. She picked up the clay disc. After Diya ties it on your wrist, Ved, we don't throw it away. We plant it in a pot. With a little water and sun, the seeds inside will grow into a tulsi plant. A promise should be like that too. It needs to be cared for every day to grow strong. A new idea sparked between them, brighter than any firecracker. Not one promise, Diya declared, grabbing a piece of paper and a pen. 2 promises. 2 everyday promises we'll keep for each other. They hunched over the paper, thinking hard. Finally, they wrote them down. Ved's promise. I will always fill Diya's water bottle for school before I go to sleep. Diya's promise. I will make sure Ved's cricket bag is packed and by the door before his practice. They titled the page Our 2 Promises and drew a star next to each one. The morning of Raksha Bandhan dawned bright and clear. The house smelled of cardamom and roses from the kheer bubbling on the stove. In the happy chaos of wearing new clothes, greeting cousins, and stealing sweets, the paper with the 2 promises was completely forgotten. Diya, looking lovely in her new yellow lehenga, carefully arranged the puja thali with the seed Rakhi, a Diya lamp, and sweets. She was excited for the ceremony to begin. Just as their mother called them into the living room, Diya's eyes fell on the corner where Ved's cricket bag lay, wide open and empty. Her promise! She had forgotten completely. At that very same second, Ved dashed into the kitchen for a drink and saw it. Diya's bright pink school water bottle, sitting on the counter, empty and dry. His heart did a flip-flop of panic. He had forgotten too. Their eyes met across the hallway. There was no time for arguing, no room for blame. A silent message passed between them. "We can fix this." Without a word, Diya scurried to the corner. She quickly gathered Ved's helmet, pads, and gloves, tucked them neatly into his cricket bag, zipped it up, and placed it right by the front door, ready to go. At the same time, Ved grabbed Diya's bottle. He rinsed it out, filled it to the brim with cool water from the earthen matka, and screwed the cap on tight. He spotted her school bag hanging on the back of a dining chair, slipped the bottle into its side pocket, and gave Diya a quick, small nod from the kitchen. They had kept their promises just in time. When Diya tied the seed Rakhi onto Ved's wrist a few minutes later, the colorful thread felt different. It wasn't just a symbol. It was a real promise, a promise they had already kept. Ved looked at the Rakhi, then at Diya, and smiled a true, warm smile. He knew now that protecting his sister didn't mean fighting off dragons. It meant making sure she had water for her school day. That afternoon, they planted the Rakhi in a terracotta pot on their balcony. They also tacked their list, "Our Two Promises," to a board in their room and started a chart, adding a gold star sticker each time they remembered. A few weeks later, 2 tiny green leaves pushed their way out of the soil. Their chart was also growing, filling up with a galaxy of stars. The pot and the chart were their reminders that the best promises, like the best gardens, grow with small acts of care every single day. Why don't you and a sibling or friend try making 2 everyday promises to each other?